my perception of how I feel beautiful. I lost a lot of hair, like I had double the amount of hair. The more you cover it up, the more obvious it is. That's just never a good feeling.
Today, as you can see, I didn't really take into account the fact that there would be a lot of construction, which there always is, so I'm sorry about that. I'm pretty spaced out from everybody, so I'm gonna take my mask off. It is so hot here today. It's like 85 degrees, which is the hottest day we've had in New York City this year, and it just feels amazing. So I wanted to talk today about insecurities. I'm gonna spill the tea on all of mine in hopes that maybe it can make someone else feel better or encourage people to be more open about insecurities. I also want to make a little disclaimer that I'm not doing this video for that validation, you know, it's not trying to get attention or anything, because I am a blessed person living a blessed life, so if it can give one person a feeling of acceptance and be at peace in their own body and mind, then this video is a success. It's hard to drill into my brain sometimes that everybody has those negative feelings, and that's not the problem with being insecure. Those feelings are gonna happen no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, you're gonna feel insecurities, but it's what you do with those feelings that matter, and it only becomes a problem when it becomes reactive and you can harm other people because of lack of acceptance with yourself. I've been open on my channel about being in therapy, and if you're new to my channel, and I'm not trying to replace a therapist by any means, if you're feeling any type of way about that, you can DM me on Instagram and I can show you the link that I use to get more affordable therapy. And this is not a sponsored video, there's no discount code or anything. My biggest insecurities are in the way that I look. You know, now we're getting into hot girl summer and everyone is gearing up for wearing swimsuits at the beach, going out and meeting people and interacting with people for the first time in a year or more than a year. So the expectations are really high to look a certain way. And even though we all know that people's looks are the least interesting thing about them, about the person, but it doesn't make it any easier because everyone just wants to be accepted, and including myself. I do feel ridiculous admitting my insecurities because I know that I have a lot of privilege in my looks, but I'm human and I got my own shit. So one of my biggest insecurities right now is my acne scars. And if you have cystic acne scars or you've endured cystic acne, you know how it can be really traumatizing. I didn't really get acne until I was in college, until I turned like 20 or 21. And then it hit me really, really hard, and I think it peaked when I was like 26, 27, and so having this adult acne, I mean, I almost would have rather had it when I was in high school. For a long time, I was really accepting of my acne scars, and I was really kind to myself for the fact that at a certain point there's just not much you can do about it, especially if you don't have health insurance and you can't see a dermatologist, and money is just an obstacle when it comes to your skin. What made me self-conscious about it really was when I started noticing people noticing. People are like not looking you in the eye when they're talking to you, or they're like looking down and looking up. It just kind of sucks because the more you cover it up, the more obvious it is. That's just never a good feeling. I'm wearing a little bit of powder foundation, but you know, the scars, they go along my temple and jawline, cheekbone, and even now, like, I still have some breakouts. This side of my face, it's everywhere. It's not just hyperpigmentation, you know, it's not a color thing, it's an indent in my skin, and that kind of treatment takes years. In a weird way, the friends that I had when I had my worst cystic acne, I respect on a different level, because I know that they were my friends for me, and despite the impurities on my face, they were never embarrassed for me about it. I was hanging out with a friend the other day and we were talking about nobody really notices these things that we're so subconscious about because they're too busy being focused on their own insecurities. Besides my acne, you know, I used to have a lot of hair. When I moved to New York, I lost a lot of hair. Like, I had double the amount of hair, and so I had to cut my hair really short a few years ago, and now I'm starting to see my hair grow back, which is it's really nice. And it's not just growing back like length, it's growing back in volume. And I tell you, y'all, I got some really hairy arms.
got really hairy arms. And I got peach fuzz in every crevice of my body, like peach fuzz on the back of my neck, peach fuzz on my shoulders. And there was a time when, well, I still have this, but I have really long hairs on my neck that are like an extension of the hair on my head, but they only grow to like an inch, but they go really far down my neck. And I was so self-conscious about that for so long that I would shave it with an eyebrow razor. And having that grow back was just so awkward. But what changed that for me was actually seeing a celebrity have that same thing that I had and was embracing it. Shout out to Ariana Grande for having her neck hairs. Again, there are things I could do about it. Like I could get laser hair removal, I could keep up with shaving it. But y'all know I'm just way too lazy for that. Another insecurity of mine is the quintessential thigh gap. I don't know why this is still a thing when I'm, you know, in my late 20s, but I feel like the whole Britney, Christina, early 2000s beauty standards are just forever ingrained in me. Those low-rise jeans, you think you're fat when you weigh like 80 pounds. Like the beauty standards in those like teen magazines I was reading, it stuck with me for so long. And I've just had to come to terms with the fact that my body is not built for a thigh gap. I can get myself to a full six-pack and not have a thigh gap. But with like a pear-shaped figure, it's becoming more embraced in today's society, which makes me happy. And I have to remind myself that I am like biologically made to pop out babies, and my hips are wide to make childbirth easier. Like biologically, that is why I am built the way I am. That's another realization I had in this pandemic. Like if my body can keep off a deadly virus, what importance does having thighs that touch have on a body that can keep me alive through a global pandemic? And I also think the pandemic had a big impact on my self-acceptance without makeup, and it changed my perception of how I feel beautiful without makeup. Like without, I mean, you see me, I vlog all the time without makeup. I wouldn't have been able to do that before the pandemic. It was like mascara and powder foundation all day, every day. For me, it just happened to be a part of like wanting to control how other people perceived me. And once I let go of that step of putting on makeup, I was able to kind of let go of that need for control. And also while transitioning into talking about the emotional insecurities, it's easier for me to feel judged about something on the outside of me because I feel like I can have more control on how to fix that. If someone else's thoughts of me make me feel insecure. But if it's something about me as a person that someone doesn't like and then it makes it known to me that they don't like it and I feel insecure about it, it's obviously more personal, and I would have to make the decision if that's something I would want to change because somebody didn't like it, or, you know, is having that outside perspective helpful? Can it open my eyes to something I'm not seeing, kind of thing? If someone had an issue with something about me as a person that ended up saying more about them than about me, why did it bother them? You know, why do they want to change that about me? I feel like I want to go take a walk. Do you guys want to take a walk with me?
I remember when this was the goal. I mean, there's insecurities in your career all over the place, right? Especially in acting. Yo, it's like comparison central. Being able to sing better than somebody else, having to like copy someone's tone because that's what's popular and that will get you cast. Having a certain look, having an education from a popular place. And you realize that the most successful people in any industry are the ones that embrace exactly what they have to offer. I think one of my toxic traits for sure is being resentful and insecure and jealous of people who are happy if I don't feel that way. My goal in life is to not be happy. Like, I feel like that's too unattainable because whenever I feel like I've reached any point of happy, my self-critical brain will convince myself that I'm not happy. Like if I buy that thing that I see people have and
that, you know, they look so happy with on social media. And I have that, and I get that high of like buying something and having something new, and then I realize like, oh my god, it's only temporary. So that's, you know, why happy is not my goal. My goal is to find peace and have the self-awareness to not sabotage it. And my goal is to not have insecurities, but to acknowledge them and process them in a healthy way that's not toxic to myself or to other people. Because I mean, honestly, there's no way you can get rid of them all. You just kind of got to work with it in life, and that's what makes us human, really, honestly. There's a lot of things that come naturally to myself that other people probably wish they had, but I'm too busy criticizing myself to recognize that I need to just be grateful for what I have. That's what I hope that these talks, these chats can, you know, obviously not provide you with the answers to everything, but open up a space and a conversation on the internet for us to just feel it together in the beauty of the city. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. The engagement really helps my channel grow. Share this video on your social media. Follow me on Instagram if you like. My @ is chell.cal. Y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!